All right, today we're going to do a high-level briefing on a pretty serious corporate turnaround. But the company we're talking about, well, it's your own body. We're going to dig into how something like fasting can completely rewire your internal headquarters to get you back to peak performance.
You know, for so many guys over 40, this quote just hits different. It's that feeling of constant exhaustion, right? Like the fire you had in your 20s has just kind of fizzled out. The drive just isn't there. But what if I told you the problem isn't just your age? What if it's a system breakdown that you can actually fix?
So to really get what's going on, you got to picture your body as this high-stakes corporate headquarters. You've got a CEO, you've got communication lines, you got a factory floor, the whole shebang. And right now, that headquarters is in total chaos, and we need to figure out why.
Okay, so right at the top, in the corner office, you've got the CEO. And that's your brain. It's making all the big strategic calls, sending out these critical memos and directives to the entire organization. It's one job: keep the company thriving.
And probably the most important order the CEO is sending out right now is this one: produce testosterone. I mean, this is the directive for energy, for drive, for maintaining the entire company infrastructure. It's absolutely key to vitality.
But here's where it all goes wrong. The CEO is shouting the order, but nobody's hearing it. The communication lines are completely jammed. Imagine alarms are blaring, the phones are ringing off the hook, just deafening static. The factory floor never gets the message, so production just stops. The problem isn't the order, it's the noise in the system.
So, how do we fix this whole mess? Simple. We have to calm the chaos. We need to clear those communication lines. And to do that, we first have to find out what's causing all that static in the first place.
And here is the main culprit: constant grazing. You know, eating small meals all day long. Every time you eat, your body releases insulin. And this constant, relentless drip of insulin is the static. It's the signal noise that's jamming up all the lines. But with intermittent fasting, you create this long, beautiful window of digestive silence. Insulin levels plummet back down to baseline, and suddenly, it's quiet. The static is gone. The signal is crystal clear, and that order to produce testosterone is finally heard, loud and clear.
Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. Yeah, but I tried fasting and I felt absolutely terrible for the first 2 weeks. It's a super common thing to feel, but it's really a misunderstanding of what's happening inside. You're not breaking your system, you're rebooting it.
Let's just look at this reboot process. For the first week or two, your body kind of freaks out. It thinks there's a famine, so it spikes your stress hormone cortisol. And because cortisol and testosterone are on this biological seesaw, when one goes up, the other goes down. So yeah, your T levels might dip temporarily. But then, by weeks 3 and 4, your body gets it. It learns that food is still coming, just on a different schedule. The cortisol clears out, that seesaw levels off, and your whole system comes out the other side completely recalibrated for a new level of efficiency. Okay, so clearing up the signal is huge, but it's only half the battle. Now we have to make sure that when the message gets through, it can actually be acted upon. So think of this next step as bringing in a specialized, deep cleaning crew for your entire system, right down to the cellular level.
This whole thing comes down to a concept called receptor sensitivity. So if testosterone is the key, then your cells have these tiny little keyholes called receptors. And for that key to work, it has to fit perfectly into a clean, clear keyhole to unlock the cell's function.
Now, here's the issue. For a lot of us, years of a diet heavy in processed foods has basically just packed those keyholes full of what you could call biological grime. Seriously, it's like trying to unlock your front door after someone jammed the lock full of bubble gum. You can have 1,000 keys, but if the lock itself is clogged, none of them are going to work.
Fasting is what kicks your body into this janitorial mode. It's a system-wide cleanup. Your body literally gets to work scrubbing that grime out of all those receptors. And once they're clean, boom, the doors fly open. All of a sudden, every single testosterone key you have starts working perfectly, and your body can finally use the hormones it already has with amazing efficiency.
So we've cleared the signal, we've cleaned the locks. What's next? Now we have to talk about asset protection. Because the single biggest asset in this whole corporate turnaround is your lean muscle mass, and we have to make sure it's protected.
This is it. This is the #1 myth, the #1 fear that stops people dead in their tracks. This idea that if you dare to skip a meal, your body will immediately start eating its own muscle for fuel. Well, I'm here to tell you that the actual science completely shatters that idea. Your body is way, way smarter than that.
In fact, it does the exact opposite. Some studies have seen a surge in human growth hormone, or HGH, of over 1,000% after just 24 hours of fasting. That is not a typo. And it's not a fluke. It's a powerful
built-in evolutionary survival mechanism.
You can think of HGH as an elite security detail for your muscles. It throws a protective shield around all your lean tissue, and at the same time, it points right at your stored body fat and tells your system, hey, burn that for fuel, not this. It's an incredible 1-2 punch for changing your body composition.
We're making amazing progress, but there's one last critical issue we have to deal with. It's a silent, hidden leak that's been sabotaging this whole operation from inside the company walls.
That visceral fat you have around your midsection, it's not just sitting there. It's an active endocrine organ, and it's packed with an enzyme called aromatase. And the only job of aromatase is to find your valuable testosterone and chemically convert it into estrogen. It is literally an internal saboteur.
And this creates one of the most devastating vicious cycles you can imagine. More belly fat means more aromatase. More aromatase means less testosterone. And with lower testosterone, it becomes even harder to lose that fat. So the problem just keeps feeding itself, digging you deeper and deeper into a hole.
This is why fasting is such a game changer. It's one of the most direct ways to break that cycle. By forcing your body to tap into its stored energy, it specifically targets and burns that deep visceral fat. And as that fat shrinks, your aromatase levels plummet. You are effectively finding and plugging the hormonal leak right at the source.
All right, let's bring it all home. I want you to consider this the final executive summary of your new strategic health plan. These are the key performance indicators, the KPIs for your body's successful corporate turnaround.
Here they are, your KPIs. Check. We've got clearer signal transmission by lowering insulin. Check. We've unlocked our cellular receptors with a deep clean. Check. We've protected our muscle assets with a surge of HGH. Check. We've plugged the hormonal leaks by getting rid of aromatase. And hey, as a bonus, fasting also upgrades your delivery highways. It improves blood flow, so all these powerful hormones can get where they need to go, and fast.
Look, this isn't about just accepting getting older. It's about system optimization. Every tool you need for this turnaround is already within your control. The systems are there, just waiting for the right commands from the top. So the only question left is, are you ready to step into that CEO role and really take charge?